We got some big news here in New Jersey for anyone that is buying or selling a home. If you've been following our local market at all, you've probably heard some buzz and some changes to New Jersey's so-called mansion tax. Well, it's not just some buzz anymore or talk. It has been pushed through, and there are some major updates that are already in effect that could mean tens of thousands of dollars at closing costs, whether you are selling or buying, kind of depending on your price point. So in this video, we're going to break down exactly what the new mansion tax is going to be, how it flipped the old system on its head, and what this means whether you are buying or selling over $1 million here in New Jersey. Before we get started though, if it is your first time to the channel, my name is Steve McCutcheon and I'm a local realtor at Berkshire Hathaway. And on the Live in Central Jersey channel, we cover everything related to the Central Jersey real estate market. So if you're the first one to know what's going on in their Monmouth or Ocean County real estate, feel free to click the bell, hit the subscribe button. Let's get this video started. To start us off though, I figured it's probably a good idea to go to a little bit more of a background real quick. So the mansion tax has been around in New Jersey since 2004, and it didn't, despite its name, I guess, of mansions, it didn't necessarily just target them. If you bought a residential property, $1 million or more, there was a 1% additional tax on the entire purchase price of the home. So if you bought a $1 million home, it was $10,000 in tax at closing costs. If you bought a $1.5 million, it was $15,000, so on and so forth, right? That 1%, it didn't necessarily change based on the price of the home. It was also applied mostly to buyers, so you pay your tax for your closing costs, like your typical transfer taxes, title fees, attorneys, mortgage, so on and so forth, right? So it was just a natural expense with buying a luxury home. The original idea of the mansion tax was for the state to collect extra revenue on what they perceive to be luxury transactions, and it was mostly supposed to just impact the wealthiest of buyers. But the reality is, home values have obviously shot up over the last 2 decades, especially in places like Monmouth County, Bergen County, Jersey Shore. $1 million home just isn't as rare as it used to be anymore, right? So the mansion tax is hitting a lot more people now than originally intended back in 2004. All right, so here's where things start to get a little bit controversial. As of July 10th, 2025, the mansion tax is officially been completely overhauled, and it is no longer just a simple 1% flat fee paid by the buyer. It's essentially another realty transfer tax that now the seller is going to have to pay, and unfortunately for them, the steeper or it's going to be steeper the more expensive that your home is. So, for example, if you are selling a home between $1 million and $2 million, that is going to be a 1% fee paid by the seller for their taxes on this one, the mansion tax, right? Then 2 million to 2.5 is going to jump to 2%. 2.5 to 3 million is going to jump to 2.5%. 3 to 3.5 would jump to 3%. And if you sell a home that's over $3.5 million, it is just a flat 3%, 3.5% fee from there on out. So obviously the more expensive your home is, the more you are going to be paying. So if you sold a $3 million home, you'll be paying $90,000 in additional taxes because of this rule. This new law has the potential to basically flip the entire dynamic of luxury sales here in New Jersey. Sellers now have to factor in these substantial costs, which could affect how they're going to either price their homes or their willingness to negotiate at the same time. So meanwhile, the buyers are going to be the ones coming out ahead because they no longer have to foot this bill at closing. There are also something called a realty transfer tax. I kind of mentioned it previously, but that's what the seller's already paying. That's roughly around 1% or so. It's a little bit less than that. So essentially, if you are selling a $3 million home, you aren't just getting hit with this $90,000 tax that we just talked about. You're also getting hit with an additional basically 1%, meaning you are paying $120,000 to the state of New Jersey just for selling your home. Now, there is a tiny loophole going on here. So if you're already in the process of selling or buying a home when this law went into effect, there's a small window to help soften the blow a little bit. If you sign your contract before July 10th, 2025, and the deed is recorded before November 15th, 2025, then the sellers can actually apply for a refund in the excess amount that they're going to owe, right? So as long as you close with or you have a contract in place before July 10th, deeds recorded before November 15th, you won't have to pay that excess tax that we are just talking about here, or the mansion tax on the selling side of things. So, but after the November 15th deadline passes, everything is permanent. What does this all mean, though, for buying and selling a home here? Well, on the selling side of things, like you've already said, you are responsible between either 1% all the way up to 3.5%, depending on your price point for this mansion tax now. So that is written into law. But like everything else in real estate, this is going to be negotiable. So maybe there is a chance that when you are going into agreement on a contract, you have the buyer pay the mansion tax like they previously were doing. Maybe you have them possibly split it, or you are going to be stuck paying the whole thing. But at least it is negotiable and you're not just necessarily stuck paying it yourself. There might be some type of a chance there. On the buying side of things, that means there is no more flat 1% fee. So you're making out ahead $10,000 already off the bat because of doing so, right? You're good on the buying side. But again, like we just mentioned, maybe gets thrown into your end a little bit because the seller does want to negotiate it and kind of have it play like it was how the rule was previously. So we have no idea how this is going to play out just yet. It is literally just going into effect, but it will be interesting to see over the next couple of months or to the end of 2025. And just throw my little personal spin on and what I think of the whole situation. I'm most excited to see what the builders are going to be doing in this situation, right? So, are they going to opt for not going to the luxury market as much? Will they be just passing the bill on to the buyers at that point? Will they want to build maybe more affordable homes under $1 million? It's going to be interesting to see on their end. They might just say screw it and pass it on to the buyers, but again, we'll have to wait and see. The other thing is, I'm not a huge fan of this rule. I believe that if you are working your butt off and you're affording a $2.5 million home and you are selling it and you worked your entire life for it, why does the state just get to keep some of your money because of that? Just because you're selling that home and you've made it so far, right? I know the comments might be a little bit different in on this video that, oh, they can afford it. And I'm not saying they can't. It's just, why should they be made to pay it just because they were a little bit more successful or farther on in life? It just, to me, kind of rubbed me the wrong way, being a business owner and working for myself at the same time. So, but I would love to hear what you think in the comments down below. And if you are looking to move to the area, buying or selling, feel free to reach out. All my contact information is down low in the comments and description. So whether you're 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, even a year out, doesn't matter to me. Let's just get you on the right path towards your real estate goals. If you're looking to move to a different part of the Central Jersey area, check out 2 videos popping up and hopefully help out a bit too. Have a great day.